Persia is the heart of Central Asia, wrapped around by China, Russia, and the Indian subcontinent. The extraordinary history of Persia, extending over at least 3 millennia, is in part driven by its geographical location at the intersection of the silk and spice trade routes. Iran was the first empire on earth, and this was no coincidence. The plateau provided residence for the seeds that sprouted and established, first, the conflict of good versus evil, overseen by Ahura Mazda and the prophet Zoroaster within the fabric of Zoroastrianism, and second, the salvation of Judaism, which evolved into Christianity, and third, the melting pot of Sunni and Shiite Islam, finally culminating in the Islamic Republic of Iran in 1979, a Shia capitalist society. Of course, this is a complex web of intrigue and human collusion with circumstances that still seem to be beyond full understanding. The West and East meet in the deserts of Iran, a virtually treeless, rocky plateau and mountains, guarding a few large oases that are today crowded with people tending not sheep and goats, but vehicles and devices. Consumerism is rampant, and suggestive of the probability that the lot of the inhabitants of this dry land has improved substantially in a material sense. Wealth is unevenly distributed for sure, as in most urban centers on the globe. However, a dynamic energy pervades the city's streets as secularism, like in the Western nations, is steadily usurping the power of spiritualism. The clerics remain the nation's moral authority, no doubt, but religion's ebb and flow here seems to be moderating. The Friday mosques still collect men at noon for the ritual prayers, but it appeared to me that many of the holy places are attended by a plurality of mostly older citizens and tourists, just like some churches and synagogues in Europe and the US. Meanwhile, the most conservative activist Muslims in Iran, the Shia sects, are a proselytizing offshoot of the more sedate mainstream Islam. Ashura is the 10th day of Muharram in the Islamic calendar. In Sunni and Shia Islam, Ashura commemorates the moment when the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, Hussein Ali, was slaughtered in a battle in Karbala, Iraq, tens of centuries ago, on October 10, 680 AD. Like evangelical Christians in the U.S., Shiite teachers and preachers are attempting to inspire and sustain the faithful. In modern Iran, Hussein's struggle long ago is seen as a battle against tyranny and unfairness. Some Sunni leaders promote flagellation and chest beatings as a way of remembering the suffering and pain of Hussein. Shia clergy tend to view missionary work among Sunnis to convert them to Shia Islam as a worthwhile religious endeavor. However, a Muslim mullah admitted to one publication, quote, "On the street I wear clerical clothes. Some people will greet me because of it, and others will insult me for the same reason." If your Persian rug wasn't made in Iran, then it isn't a Persian carpet. There is mystery woven into each fabric composition that's hard to fathom, even with a broad knowledge of the history of Persia and of Islam. It's not uncommon for the temporal to be blended with the abstract, forcing the mind to contemplate a unique kind of beauty, a beauty that's also peddled in the structures of Iran's mosques, buildings, and public squares. From the dawn of ancient trade and commerce, Persia was a major participant in the production of and/or transport of fine fabrics like silk and cloths like carpets, as well as of spices, perfumes, and gems. Wealth then, like today, was displayed by way of adornment on the person or of the household. Pliny the Elder gave the Persians the distinction of probably inventing a spice-based perfume to be used as a fragrance on the human person, especially in order to hide the natural dirtiness. The carpet, or rug, fulfilled a need to protect oneself and family from cold and damp floors of their homes and mosques, and for nomads, their tents. Today, carpet weaving is the most widespread handicraft in Iran, although the time-consuming task is quickly succumbing to mass production. Persian carpets are renowned for their rich colors, spectacular artistic designs, and quality of design. Abstract design is preeminent in Islamic art, but often important persons and events in history are portrayed in Persian carpets, even including the great personages of the West. Jesus and Napoleon make the distinguished guest list, alongside the messengers of the Bible and Quran. A Persian carpet is amongst the most treasured possessions. I had the privilege of visiting Tehran's highly touted Carpet Museum, noted for its rotating exhibits of historically significant rug samples and educational programs geared to preserving the very concentrated art of weaving and knotting. There is no price assigned to the fine art on display, but a buyer will sweat on his or her credit card when visiting the finest rug stores scattered within every town and city of Iran. The art of weaving and knotting originated more than 2,500 years ago. Some historians credit Cyrus the Great in the 500s BC for introducing carpet making into Persia. In the last quarter of the 19th century, and during the reign of Qajar, Persian carpet trade and craftsmanship regained their importance, prompting some European and American companies to set up businesses in Persia. Carpet stores inhabit stalls and niches in every market strip in the cities of Iran. Like pharmacies and gas stations in every American street corner, the carpet dealer of Persia holds block-by-block real estate that offers a pleasing assortment of color and abstract art to soothe the soul and cushion the behind. Many bistros, restaurants, and guest houses are caretakers of patios that serve as places for families, individuals, and guests, and cats to relax, picnic, and even to sleep. Carpeted platforms made of wood may double both as table and bed.